Guns don't kill people. People kill people. This is the slogan of the National Rifle Association of America, and a line that is parroted by those who wish to purchase and keep guns with them. But 3 incidents on 2 separate continents must drill some common sense into the pro-gun lobbies around the world, that without access to guns, it is not easy for people to kill other people. Now, Serbia this week has been rocked by unprecedented mass shootings. A 13-year-old boy who decided to pull the trigger on his classmates inside of his classroom, and a 21-year-old in Serbia again who drove around in his car shooting people at random. And in the United States of America, the nation that is notorious as the epicenter of civilian mass shootings, a man pulled the trigger on his neighbors just because he was told to stop shooting in his yard, as that was disturbing the sleep of a 1-month-old infant. What will it take for those who are addicted to buying and owning guns to realize that without easy access to guns, the bloodletting due to mass shootings will not happen?
8 students and a security guard were killed in a school shooting in Belgrade on the 3rd of May. The rare shooting occurred at 8:40 a.m. at an elementary school in Belgrade's downtown Belgrade district. The 13-year-old assailant, identified as Kosta Kecmanovic, himself called the police and was arrested in the schoolyard. In the meticulously planned attack in the works for a month, the teenager had drawn detailed maps of the classrooms and prepared a kill list of students he intended to shoot dead. Shocked by the carnage, the Serbian president labeled it as one of the most difficult days in recent Serbian history.
This day is one of the most difficult in the modern history of our country. Serbia is unfortunately united in grief. This grief is so great that we do not remember a greater one.
Mass shootings are extremely rare and an unheard of phenomenon in the Balkan nation, with no mass shootings reported at Serbian schools in recent years. But Serbia, like the United States, is awash with guns left over from the wars of the 1990s. Although purchasing a firearm requires a special permit in Serbia, the 13-year-old assailant was armed with 2 pistols, one in his backpack and the one that he used. Both the guns used in the shooting spree were owned by the assailant's father, who was also arrested later. Some media reports attributed bullying as a possible motive, but no conclusions have been made.
I feel disappointed, and I have a lot of questions. Where are we as human beings? Where is our empathy? Where did we all fail to see the problem, both with the person who did this and with all the other people that have led this to happen?
What for the last few decades had been rare in Serbia was repeated immediately the next day. A 21-year-old gunman, identified by his initials UB, armed with an automatic weapon, opened fire from a moving vehicle before fleeing. The shooting spree, in which at least 8 people were killed and 14 wounded, spread across 3 separate villages near Mladenovac. The drive-by shooting suspect was arrested early on Friday after a night-long manhunt by hundreds of police. A nation scarred by wars but unaccustomed to mass shootings has now been thrust uncomfortably into the spotlight. In the United States, where mass shootings are rather alarmingly frequent, a seemingly banal interaction turned into yet another tragedy. On the 28th of April, in Houston, Texas, Francisco Oropeza, a 39-year-old Mexican national, was requested by his neighbors to stop shooting his semi-automatic rifle in his yard because the noise was keeping their baby awake. Infuriated at this innocuous request, he stormed the crowded house of his Honduran neighbors and shot 5 of them dead, execution style, including an 8-year-old child. He was later arrested after a massive 4-day manhunt in a neighboring town. Separated by geography and modus operandi, these 2 incidents are similar in the way the assailants could easily access guns. Here's some food for thought. In a world where assault weapons are not so readily available, would we still witness such horrific attacks so frequently?